I put off all the stuff I had to do until today. And now, ow.
Hello, good morning,
Good
BBs.
morning, BBs. It's too early.
It sure is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan. And
I just want to talk about Spider-Man.
But before you start, we're not talking about Spider-Man on the show today.
I just want to.
Because a lot of people haven't seen it yet. It just came out yesterday. I went to a midnight showing, which is why I'm sitting like this.
I flew to San Francisco to watch it with the Spider Boys. It's a very good film. We'll probably give a really long, spoiler-filled review for our patrons today.
We sure will.
It's going to be long.
It's just going to be us mostly gushing and being like, you remember when? And then do you remember when?
There's like literally nothing we can say.
There's nothing we can say right now. So
Spider-Man's there.
But we will do a spoilery review. We tend to do those for a lot of the big films over on the Patreon.
Oh, the biggest films. The biggest films. Gone with the Wind. Citizen Kane. Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Yes, that's the list.
That's the list.
whole thing.
That's the list. There's so much news.
There is a lot of news today, and you know what? I'm too tired to do it.
There's our producer, Dagger, making sure that we're actually doing something and eating fluff off the couch.
Oh, nice.
Yesterday, Dagger stayed with you.
Yeah, I got to pet sit Dagger all day.
I went to San Francisco to see Spider-Man with the Spider Boys because of the Kind of Funny show I've been doing about Spider-Man. He definitely still believes that he's in a relationship with you.
Yes.
And definitely likes you more than me.
Oh, well, I'm not going to say that.
He will snuggle up on the couch with Saige and just lay there all day.
Loved it.
He will not do that with me.
I sat and I took my meetings on my couch and had him like curled up on like right on the side of my legs.
I sit on the couch and then he sits across from me in his little bed like a cold, disapproving father, and we just look at each other. He looks at me.
Ends of the long dining table.
He looks at me like, I have a great affection for you, boy, but men do not touch. You know I love you, but I will never say it. That's for mothers.
Look, me and the boy, we have a special bond. I don't know what to tell you. We had a great time yesterday. I took him to breakfast.
I saw.
And sat outside at a little restaurant.
I saw. You sent a photo.
Uh-huh.
He looked way happier with you than he ever looks with me when I put him in the car.
And what did you text me when you were leaving, when you picked him up last night?
I picked him up. We're walking to the car. Just the street, just the car. I clearly open up the car door. We're going, like, come on, we're going for a ride. Let's go. He walks out, pees a little, turns around, walks right back up onto Saige's porch, sits and stares at me like, are you going to let me back into Saige's house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lives here now.
It's so rude. It's so rude of my dog.
We had a very good time. Anyways, on that note, while he is really producing the hell out of the show back there today, let's get into the news.
The news, baby.
One of the biggest things that happened, there was no show on Wednesday, but just after there would have been a show on Wednesday, we got a beautiful Nintendo Indie Direct.
They've been crushing.
Oh, we love an Indie Direct.
They have been crushing. Their portfolio team finally figured out that what people want from Nintendo is
indie games.
Is adorable games,
Yeah.
and they can only make so many. So they have to bring on third-party developers, and they have to be good about it.
I think that these are the showcases that I look forward to the most, is specifically the Nintendo Indie Directs.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's a lot of great indie showcases, and there's a lot of great showcases in general. Obviously, we get those like larger ones a lot of the time for the console showcases, but Nintendo's Indie Direct is always one of those that I watch and I'm like, oh, thank you, a gift from me.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that just for me? That was nice of you.
Well, and one of the things that I do like about everything they've been doing lately and the way they've been choosing their indies lately is, even if they are not Nintendo exclusive, even if it's something that people have seen on the PC or people who've played on other platforms, maybe it came to another console first. What Nintendo is also beginning to understand is people who play Nintendo don't necessarily keep up with every platform.
Yes.
And so they're saying, we know that there's space to highlight these, whereas other platforms are like, we're only going to show this trailer if you say that it's only on our thing.
Yeah, I appreciate them understanding that these games are worthwhile.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, we have a big audience for this, and because they are not dialed into the industry as much as other people, they don't know. I mean, Chicory is a big example of that from this showcase. You know, we talked about Chicory earlier this year. Chicory's already been out on the PC and I believe the PlayStation. But
this is such a great platform for it.
Oh my gosh.
If I haven't sat down and played Chicory yet, the Switch is where I'll play Chicory.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you're going to love it.
I know.
You're going to love it.
Oh, I know. And I'm so excited about it. It's such a beautiful game. Absolutely adorable.
Were there some other highlights for you? I did not watch it all the way through.
Ooh, okay. Oh my goodness.
But I know a couple here that I'm interested in.
Right. Okay, so I want to go through a bunch of them, obviously. After Love EP was a huge highlight for me, and I think a lot of people. After Love EP is a really fascinating, hand-drawn looking game that has rhythm-based mini games in it.
Mm-hmm.
It looks adorable. It looks beautiful. You've got a lovely little kind of point and click, very slow in animation, slow in story.
You're
also a little musician.
Yeah, I love that games are sort of adapting. This is clearly adapting that sort of webtoon, Tumblr comic, all of that stuff. It's taking that sort of look, and it's let's make a whole ding-dang game based on that. It's really dialing into something that people haven't dialed into very much before.
It is so good. It is described as a slice-of-life adventure about love, loss, and music. And this is something I want to hide in a little corner in my room and wrap up in a blanket and tell no one to look at me for a few hours. And I want to sit and I want to play it.
Yeah.
That's it. And then when I'm done, I would like somebody to talk about it with.
That's all. That's all.
Yeah, Kaylin Rohrer said I was literally typing out webtoon as you said it. I think webtoon's a great way to describe it.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a whole community, and it's dialing into something that a lot of people grew up with, you know, and I love whenever something like that makes it into games. Omori, which already exists on the PC, this is this is the first game from Omocat,
Again, this animation style.
I love that this is coming to the Switch.
Look at this. I haven't played it.
You are going to love it.
I'm so excited.
You are absolutely going to love it. I'm going to give it a little juice.
A little audio as a treat?
Going to give it a little juice. Because it is just so beautiful. God. And just the colored pencil aesthetic, and it's very good. Yeah, fucking games, am I right?
Fucking games, right? Something else that I found really fascinating was a game called Locomotive.
Locomotive.
So Locomotive, it is described as a point-and-click whodunit. Oh my god, too much talking. I can't handle. Brain short circuit.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Yeah,
it's an Orient Express murder game!
It is. It's pixel art set in the 1930s, and you are trying to figure out who committed the murder of the old woman that's narrating. And
points in the story.
Everyone's a suspect.
You'll meet
it's
a fully
very
voiced
fun.
Cast of
I
characters.
love this.
Fun?
Saige?
To prove
Yeah.
your innocence. Figure out who done it and what.
I was not a well-loved child.
Oh.
I just wasn't very popular. And when I look back and I try to think on...
I thought this was getting way deeper than it was. I thought we were... Okay.
No. And when I look back and I think on why, I think to myself, not a lot of 8-year-olds were into Agatha Christie. Like, not a lot of 8-year-olds were watching Poirot and were
Sure.
like, and reading 10 Little Indians, which, by the way, we gotta. It's fine. It's when it was written. But like, there's nothing I wanted more than to be a detective on a train, on an opulent train.
And now you can just do that. You can just play pretend. Isn't that great?
I love that. I love that.
Isn't that wonderful?
And the sprite art is absolutely amazing. Riot 76 AD in the live studio audience is calling out that good sprite art. Let me tell you something. When the pixel art is real good,
Yeah.
when the pixel art is real good,
Yeah.
ugh, that's what it's about.
Find something that has all of the trailers. I guess I can
That's
just
what
go
it's
back
about.
to the.
I got them all here.
Okay, awesome. I also found a rundown of it.
Yeah.
The highlight for me was River City Girls 2.
I was just about to click on that. We
River
love
City
River City
Girls
Girls.
2. We love the River City Girls so much. And the trailer was a delight. Okay.
River City Girls.
We definitely saw some playing character options that were lovely.
You can actually be Cuneo in this one.
Yeah.
You can be Cuneo and Ricky.
Which, meh.
Yeah. I get
Why
it.
when you can do them?
I
but-
get it. It's nice for history purposes,
Sure. Yes.
for the history of the franchise. But man,
More baddies
this
to
is
take
such
Let's
such a
go.
good game.
Right there with
See,
you.
We played the
Wait
heck
for
out
is
of it, the
back
first
with
one,
sequel to the acclaimed beat 'em
during
up,
the
River City Girls.
Pantera,
There's trouble
and it was
brewing
your
once
first
again
River
in
City game, right?
It was my
Higher
first River
stakes,
City game.
Meaner streets, and
The
even more
the
over-the-top
River
humor.
City games
Take control
were
of one
so
of 6
ahead of their
characters,
time
including
Yeah.
that
returning
they still
powerhouses
feel
Kyoko
good
and
now.
Misako.
The humor
Each
is
character has their
excellent
own
in it.
fighting
It's
style
so
and
good. The
upgradable
storyline
movesets,
is
which
wonderful.
you'll
If
need
you
as
haven't
you set
played the
off on
first
a
one, I
new
highly
quest,
recommend.
picking up where
Will
the
Massey
first
in the
game
live
left
review
off.
audience said,
And when we
sorry to
say
Scott
new,
Pilgrim, but that is
we
the
mean
best
it.
beat 'em up game of the
New
decade.
I mean, look,
And
Scott
it's
Pilgrim
areas,
is just
items,
a River City
and a new
game
soundtrack for
based on the
first
Scott
game's
Pilgrim
composer.
comics,
But
so that
I
makes
will
sense.
agree that I do think that
Not
River
to
City
mention
Girls
branching
was
paths,
a stronger
as well
beat 'em
as
up.
return
Oh,
to
it
fight
crushed.
familiar
It
foes.
crushed for sure.
Get the fist flying
Uh,
The
solo
combat
or
is
team up with
super,
a friend,
super
locally or
fun.
online.
The characters are
What do you
fucking
say, Paul?
hilarious.
Ready
I
to
mean,
give some
even to
goons
this
the old
day,
1-2?
Oh, heck yeah.
the thing that the
City Girls
the
2
Downtown
punches its way
Niketsu or
onto
the River
Nintendo
City
Switch.
series always did was like, it's the subtle inclusion of just tiny RPG elements
Yeah.
that adds so much to it. And beat 'em ups still come out today
Mhm.
where people don't add any of that kind of depth to it. And not only does it have the depth of the RPG mechanics, but like just the depth of fighting game style combat in a beat 'em up.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
So that was a huge standout for me. I hadn't been keeping an eye on it, so it also caught me completely off guard. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, River, what?
It seemed to come fast, right?
It seemed to come so fast. I'm so excited. I'm very, very, very stoked on that.
I mean, it's, I wonder if that it was really that it really came out so fast, or it was just the time dilation of the last couple years. Probably a little bit of both. Something that stuck out to me was Gerda, A Flame in the Water. Now, just a lot because of art style.
Yeah.
But this is by Don't Nod, the people that made like Life is Strange and Twin Mirror. But it's one of those adventure games where everybody is kind of doing a different thing throughout the day, and you have to kind of like keep track of people's lives and routines.
Yeah.
And I really love a game like that.
Yeah.
I love
I know that about you.
If y'all have never played Moon, you gotta play Moon. You gotta play Moon. It's on the Switch. It's coming out, I believe, on the PC and PS4. They just announced it. But you gotta play Moon.
I still haven't done it. It's one of those I keep saying I'm gonna do.
It's an investment because it's an RPG, so I understand that.
Alicia, the Oblivion of Twin Goddesses. This is so interesting to me. So Alicia's really fascinating because you can co-op the two twin sisters. And one of them uses button controls and one of them uses motion controls. And that might be infuriating to play, but I'm very, very interested. I love the idea of it being a different process,
Well, this is something that Nintendo themselves messed around with quite a bit during the Wii and the Wii U and all this stuff. You remember Nintendo would have in the Mario games and things like that, it'd be like, hey, first player is on the controller, and then second player has motion controls and ways that they can interact with the world that the first player doesn't have. But it's a more intuitive form of control. And so I love that as a mechanic for parents and children, people with partners who don't play games very much, or friends that don't play games very much.
It can also be something that you play through individually, because it's not just a co-op game. It can be something that you play through individually, and you can select your preference or play through and have a different experience by selecting the other character if you want to hit it again. But I'm picturing it very much as a very interesting co-op.
Yeah.
That's what comes to mind to me.
That's going to be a fun experience. I played through Odyssey with my partner at the time, and we were just taking turns, and one of us is Mario and one of us is Cappy.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the thing that Nintendo does so well is they're just like, oh, yeah, it's for helping. Yeah, it's for helping.
Yeah,
you play together and you help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Help one another. And then within 15 minutes, it's like, I'm going to put this cap under you at a weird time. You're going to fall into the ocean. How's that feel for you? Are you trying to get up a wall? Beep, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop.
I want to let you know.
Or 4-player, or the new Super Mario Brothers series.
I want to let you know, when co-oping, I would never.
Silent Whisper says, I can't believe the Omori trailer doesn't mention the game as a psychological horror depression ride. Now, there was a shot at the end that shows that a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that was more like, to keep story elements out of it and not to hide the fact that it's about what it's about.
Yeah.
I want to draw attention to this. Let's play Oink games.
This was very interesting.
If you're unfamiliar with Oink games are tiny games. It's a Japanese game company.
Check.
And these little games come out,
Investing.
and they are just
Check.
made to be
Drawing?
quick,
Check.
easy, but
Surviving
mechanically
on the
very
moon?
interesting
Check
and
that
deep
too.
games that you can
A
play with.
slew
And a
of
lot of their
board
games are
from developer
amazing.
Oink
But they
Games
come
are
out in very
coming to
limited
Nintendo
runs.
Switch.
It's like
Go
hard
on
to
thrilling, risky treasure hunts in deep sea
they can be
adventure.
hard to get a hold of,
Become
stuff
the
like that.
biggest investor
Playing them
in
digitally,
startups.
I think, is a
Catch
lot
the
of
sketchy
fun.
rogue
I do
and
too.
Don't get caught in a
I've not
fake
played
artist
any of the
goes to New
physical
York
games, but also I
and
think that
recover
we've hit a
supplies with your
place
fellow astronauts to survive
where
in
more and
Moon
more
Adventure.
people in every industry are recognizing that the sustainable way to create something is remote play. Because obviously there's been the Pantera out there, but in addition to that, like, it's the long distance friendships.
Yeah, this is something that we brought up last week. I went to an event and saw people that I hadn't seen in 2 years, and it occurred to me that, like, a lot of these people are people that I consider to be among my closest friends, and it's because these days we have a lot more situational friends than we have geographic friends. We have a lot more, people move more often, even as adults these days, than they ever have.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we live in Los Angeles as well, so, like, that is a city of high turnover.
Yeah. I've only ever lived in high turnover cities. I was in New York and then San Francisco and then here. And so it's like you make a lot of friends, but, like, video games are the friends we made along the way, and now you can play them with everyone.
Correct.
I also just love for learning how to play a board game. Like, I remember when Carcassonne and Settlers came out on the iPad. When, like, board games on the iPad was still a very new thing.
Yeah.
And you would sit around a single iPad and play Settlers or play Carcassonne, and it was like, it's so much easier to learn how to play, particularly when a game is new to everyone at the table.
Right.
You don't have to have that one person looking at the rules and being like, I think you can do that. I'm not sure if you can do. Yes. Like one of those things.
Yeah.
Everybody can play, because playing it digitally first, just, like, make sure you always follow the rules. You can't take an illegal move. I just love stuff like that.
I do. I think that's great. I think that's really, really wonderful. I enjoy a virtual board game.
Yeah.
Very, very much. Another one that stood out to me was Dungeon Munchies.
Dungy Munchy.
Dungeon Munchies looks so fucking cute. It's combining cooking, crafting, and combat. You play as a zombie trying to escape a hellish landscape. Cook your enemies after defeating them to collect buffs.
I like that it's is it Japanese or Chinese where it's Chinese, right? Where like the vampires and the undead have to wear like the paper sigil on their forehead. I think that's very cute.
This game just looks so fun.
You gotta get some of that Souls-like combat in there.
Yeah, right?
You gotta have some of that Souls-like combat.
I just love the idea, like, look, the idea of picking up buffs from eliminated enemies is by no means a new concept, but the idea of picking it up and cooking it into a little munchie to make yourself stronger is just delightful to me.
Yeah, and it's like, and the twist on it of not being like, well, you killed a beast and you get a beast steak. It's like, no, you ate a person.
Mm-hmm.
They're good.
Yep.
They're delishy.
Yep. Nice. Tasty treat. We got the trailer for Figment 2 Creed Valley, which a lot of people were very, very hyped for Figment.
Do I know Figment? Yo, this developer pulled out a guitar and had an unplugged sesh?
Yeah. He started off his time in the direct by saying, anyways, this is Wonderwall.
Yes! No, but like the vibe of it.
The vibe was 100% there.
I love that.
Figment is a really cute 3D platformer. It's puzzle solving, and it takes place in like a nightmare realm, essentially. So you're defeating these little nightmares.
Heavy Bastion vibes, getting that super giant feel.
I really love the world design.
Yes.
I've not played the first Figment game.
Oh, very funny.
And I'm not a huge
In this
like
musical
puzzle
adventure
platformer
game,
person.
Yeah, I had
you'll
never
make
heard
your
of the
way
first
through
one
a
of these.
rhythmic
I just-
world
puzzle
set in the
platformers are
human
not
mind.
Something I
Unfortunately,
gravitate
nightmares are
towards,
spreading
but I do
chaos
find this to be a really
everywhere.
interesting
It's
creative
up to
one.
you to put
Did
an
you ever
end to their
play
fearsome schemes.
Go to Bed? I think
Play
it was
solo
called, but it
or
was like
locally
an
with a friend
iPad
as
game
you
and a mobile
wield your
game
trusty
where
sword
it
in
had an
engaging
art style
combat.
like this, and you were a
Manipulate
sleepwalker, and you had to
environments,
sort of
solve
like
compelling
passively
puzzles,
direct the
and have
sleepwalker to bed.
symphonic
Do you remember that
showdowns
game?
and some musically
Very
amazing
There's a
good.
lot of
battles.
iPad
That
games in
sounds
today.
like
You know,
trouble.
smaller indies, the overlap these days
Yeah.
with mobile stuff
Figment 2,
is very huge. But it was sort of like a Lemmings or a Pac-Man 2 thing where you had like this guy who was gonna do what he wanted, and you had to kind of like lead him to bed. Otherwise, he would get trapped in the dream world. Spooky.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Ollie Ollie World.
Yeah.
We've seen things about Ollie Ollie World before, but this was very good. We got a full gameplay trailer for Ollie Ollie World, which like just scratches the Ooblets love of my brain.
Yeah, the art style's very good.
It definitely hits right in that like, ugh.
And it's been interesting to watch this series evolve from the original one that was all pixel art. You know, it came out. I want to say it was like 2014. It was like heavily pushed for the Vita.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We weren't ready for it.
we weren't ready for Ollie Ollie World.
No, absolutely not. And looking at this art style now and the way that it's ended up, I'm like, this is your time. You hit correctly, absolutely correctly, because we're seeing so many more games that look like this,
And the
really taking off as indies.
Yeah, and the idea that these are, oh my God, look, she's got the little VX,
Face.
she's got the Sony VX 1000 with like the
Face.
wide angle lens. That's real skate shit. I do like the idea that these are now connected levels and connected worlds.
Yeah, I agree.
And I wonder how much they are, because we're just sort of seeing like different biomes, but
Uh-huh.
they've heavily hinted that like this has got a hub world, this has got things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see how that sort of works into the Ollie Ollie formula.
I think this will be very fun. I think I will, in the same way I am with, a platformer, I'll probably get frustrated relatively quickly. But
It can be a technical game for how simple it is.
yeah,
Dad,
look at these characters.
the elder skatesman.
I really enjoy the character design.
Yeah.
It's hitting also the like calico part of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
It's interesting because that's sort of like, I think of it as a very 2010s Cartoon Network and animation sort of style,
Oh yeah, I get that.
and like indie webcomic sort of style.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how many games have been picking up on it.
Mm-hmm.
and I wonder when we're gonna get to saturation of that style. I feel like that's a style that I can never get tired of,
Same.
but I think that's only because like not a lot of people use it. Let's see what happens when more people are using it.
I am very intrigued to see what happens. I do also feel like I'm not going to get tired of it, but I feel like the industry will quickly get tired of it.
Yeah, it'll move away as a trend.
Yeah. Another one that people were really excited about was Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is another pixel art RPG.
I accidentally closed the tab.
Well, I've got it. Don't worry.
I'm a little off today, Saige.
Hey, you know what?
Because of all the
Spider-Man
flights and the
day.
Spider-Man in this game?
No.
Do you remember when Spider-Man showed up in Tony Hawk 2? And you could skate around as Spider-Man? That's sort of related.
It would have been more related to the last game we talked about, actually.
Yeah, definitely. They climbed up a wall. Spider-Man does that.
That's true. He doesn't fish.
He could.
I'm sure he could. It's just not really his thing, Anthony.
No, he's more of a city guy.
Yeah.
This looks good.
Yeah, this was super cute.
I don't
that
think
the
it's for
combat
me.
Looked really interesting. The kind of like turn-based combat did look fun.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the art style very much. I do feel like it's one of those of all the pixel art games. This definitely was a more in-depth, like really detailed pixel art game.
Well, this is the team that did The Messenger, right? And if you haven't played The Messenger was incredibly dope. You would hate The Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a classic like 8 and 16-bit Ninja Gaiden style like action platformer.
Okay.
I don't think you would like it very much.
Okay.
But hey, maybe you'll like this. Anything that's got a Yasunori Mitsuda score.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm at least gonna like that soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was really, really interesting. Other things that we got trailers for. We did get a trailer. Don't Starve Together is coming to the Switch.
Perfect.
You know what Don't Starve Together is. You know what that looks like.
Man,
That's
that game
great.
That game is just printing money for Clay, huh?
It is, and it just keeps going.
I love that for them.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
No.
It's a lot of fun. I've only played a little bit of Don't Starve Together. And I'd like to play more. I love to co-op.
I know you love to co-op. You love crafting, building.
Yeah.
With and planning and doing that and certainly doing that with friends. And of course, the whole art style of it that borrows from like the weird Charles Addams and like just old dark gothy cartoons.
Yeah.
It's very much a you thing.
Anthony, if I said there was a video game where you could run a dinosaur amusement park.
Mm-hmm. I would say, yeah, Jurassic World.
Yeah, that new Jurassic World that just came out?
Yeah, the new Jurassic World where you can take a goat and you can lower a goat and you can watch the dinosaur eat a goat.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, well, they got to eat a goat. What are they going to eat? People? If they don't eat goat, they eat people. Grow up.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Saige, grow up. You run a dinosaur theme park now.
Well, in this one, you don't have to do that.
What are the dinosaurs eating this one?
It's called Parkasaurus. Look at how cute this is. Come on.
They got to eat something.
Maybe they all eat plants.
This is just herbivores? Nobody's going to come to a park that's just herbivores.
Why not?
Because they want
to them growing up, Anthony.
They want to see them thunder lizards.
I thought that the park design elements of this were really interesting.
Yeah, it seems to have more terraforming than the Jurassic Park ones have had.
It feels like a Zoo Tycoon meets like a Spore, to be honest.
What do you think if dinosaurs got out?
Uh-huh.
Spider-Man could stop them?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. There's a TikTok going around claiming that Spider-Man is the strongest Avenger. And it's like getting traction.
I mean, look, that's the sort of like geek culture thing that will get traction, right? Because I immediately want to engage with that.
Exactly. I want to be like, Scarlet Witch!
I immediately want to argue with that, right?
Yeah.
Immediately. But, what are they talking about in terms of strongest Avenger? Are they talking about heart? Is that what they're talking about?
And hey, he'd be up there for that.
Are they talking about a willingness to do what it takes for your friends?
Alonzo, get out of here. He is not. Just because he holds back, he does not. He couldn't.
It
Scarlet
doesn't
was the
matter.
strongest
It doesn't
Avenger.
matter. There are quantified power ratings.
Exactly.
There are quantified power ratings, and Spider-Man is
you.
a 4. Spider-Man can lift a car.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Spider-Man.
And we do love that
That's
for him.
huge for him. Let me tell you something. It would be huge for me if I could
God,
lift a
if
car.
You could lift a car.
Please, hey, imagine if I could lift a car,
That'd be fucking wild.
dude.
Yeah.
Right?
That'd be absolutely wild.
I should be able to lift cars.
Yeah. What are we
Holy
talking about?
shit.
That doesn't
But
matter.
like anyway, if the Hulk was having a bad day and he finger flicked Spider-Man, that would be it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about like, or what are we talking about in terms of strength?
Mm-hmm.
Strength. Come on.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, grow up. Dinosaurs have to eat meat, and Spider-Man is not the strongest Avenger. And I'm a big Spider boy.
We love Spider-Man in this
Love
house.
Spider-Man.
We're realistic about what the boy can do.
Do you? Should we do?
What is that boy doing?
He is producing the show, and it is.
It's really getting to him today.
Yeah, he's got a lot of. He's working real hard on it.
Got a lot on his plate today.
Hey, by the way, if you're new, we do a big honor roll at the end. We're gonna thank everybody who's been giving. Y'all have been very, very generous. Just wanted to point that out so you didn't think we were letting them slide by. Real quick, let's move from cute to the least cute.
Okay.
This is for Saiges, and it is also for Ronin Monkeys.
That's true. And EQ Washoes.
At EQ Washoes, our lovely mods. Dead by Daylight. And the Ringu.
Which, of course, is the original version of the ring.
Sadako.
Very interesting.
Sadako. It's too spooky. Am I
Yeah,
old
tell 'em.
enough?
Tell him how old you are.
Am I old enough for how spooky it is? I was born in 1928, and I want to see the Sadako trailer.
You can just say whatever. I always put in my real birthday.
Oh, man. Oh, man, what is that, a well? Don't
Yeah.
look in the well.
Look in the well.
Don't look,
Look
in the well.
well.
Don't look in the well.
I'm very excited about that. They always give us something real cryptic in the beginning.
She could come out of that well.
Yeah. Anthony, you know what I learned the other day? This is to do with the birth date scenario.
Demi Bella.
You can just a lot of things when you're signing up for something will ask for the prefix for your name.
Mm-hmm.
You can just say doctor.
You can just say doctor. Do you know what I nearly did? Do you know what I nearly did for us?
What?
Do you know what I nearly did for us?
What did you nearly do?
For $50, they will sell you a 1 foot by 1 foot plot of land in Scotland.
So you can become lords and ladies.
So you can become a lord and lady.
Yeah.
And I nearly got that for us. You can put it on your ID. You're allowed. It's legally binding. Once you're a lord, you can go to the DMV and you can be like, here's my certificate. It proves that I am a lord in Scotland. And I imagine the audacity of me walking into a place,
Yeah.
showing my ID that says Lord Anthony Carboni, and then lifting everybody's car into the air, one at a time.
Okay. Some of this
One
is
at a
really
time.
achievable.
One at a time, and then I would have to
Yeah.
put it down because my power rating's only a 4, so I can't be the strongest Avenger.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
But you can just put doctor. They're not even going to check. I was ordering a Christmas present. I had to sign up for some BS website. I'm not going to say in case he watches the show.
Mm-hmm.
And they were
In
like,
case the website
hey.
watches the show.
Yeah. In case the person it's for watches the show. And they were like, sign up for the thing. Tell us either your title or what we assign to be gender. Which I was just looking at it and was like, what?
Professor.
And look.
My title is Professor.
It's not the first time I've ever seen this, but I'm just like, it's like, are you married or are you a doctor? Are you a lady or are you a married woman or are you a doctor? And I was like, what? Why do I have to tell you my marital status?
My marital status is strongest Avenger.
Anyways, you can just select doctor, and you should.
You can, and you
On all
should.
things.
And honestly, I may still get us those titles. Just because
I
I feel like the two of us would be insufferable.
Yeah, we would.
You know,
Yeah.
like I would be like,
I would do it,
"Excuse
but
me."
I already got your Christmas present.
I'd be like, actually, it's Lord.
Yeah.
I would literally do that to people.
Yes, he would.
I would do that to people.
See, that's exactly what it is. Life Serial said title, gender, and power ranking, which, like,
Professor,
when you put it that way, I'm, like, kind of into it.
Professor, male, 4.
Right. Tell me your, like, I feel like as the entrance to the Discord now, I would like it to be like, hey, tell me your title, pronouns, and power ranking.
Power ranking based on the classic Marvel power ranking cards, which is what we all go by.
Uh-huh. While we're on spooky stuff, let's talk a little more about Slitterhead. We
Okay.
talked about this a few weeks ago. It was the game that we had been keeping an eye on from Toyama, being like, what is this? What are you making, a Silent Hill?
I'm sorry,
No.
hold on 1 second. In the live studio audience, Independence Mike is saying, as an actual professor, I'd kind of rather people didn't steal my profession. Hey. Independence Mike. Stop me.
Also,
Hey.
hey, I'm ordering from a coffee website.
You see,
Settle down.
listen, Mike, you're great. I know you're here all the time.
Uh-huh.
You're a true BB. I'm gonna fucking steal that title. I'm calling my shot like Clooney in a.
coffee company's
Sorry, I
gonna-
don't mean Clooney. I mean Sandra Bullock in an Ocean's movie.
There you go. The coffee company's going to think I'm a doctor.
The coffee, and that what happens if you're at the coffee company and somebody needs a tracheotomy?
I'm going to do it.
Fuck yeah, you are. Fuck yeah, you are. And I'll walk a car up to the coffee company in case we need to take that person to the hospital.
Uh-huh.
I'll drop the car right up front,
Uh-huh.
so it'll be waiting.
That's so good. And also, thank you for carrying that one car. That's the appropriate amount of cars for your power level.
Yep. Unless he knows somebody really needs him, then he can dig down deep.
Yeah, and maybe
And
get like a bus.
I was gonna say a van.
Okay.
I was gonna say let's not.
Okay.
Let's not. Come on.
Yeah. Anyways, continuing on. So,
We've been waiting for Slitterhead.
we have been waiting for Slitterhead, and I am so excited about it. So, Toyama shed a little bit of light on game settings. Talked a little bit about kind of like the type of horror it's going to be. Said, I can't go into a lot of details yet, but I can tell you this will be an action-oriented adventure game from a third-person perspective. However, the game will include many new mechanics that have not been seen so far in other games. So I think that it will result in a unique experience.
I definitely got action horror vibes from this trailer. I definitely got third person from this trailer,
Mhm.
so that's not surprising. But I am interested to see what mechanics Toriyama has planned that
Mhm.
are gonna sort of like change up this series. Because listen, Silent Hill really did change up horror.
Yes, it did.
It really did change things up.
Mm-hmm.
We had gotten a lot of Resident Evil likes,
Exactly.
and Silent Hill really did something new and different.
And when initially described as the action-oriented adventure game, it does sound like you're leaning more towards the Resident Evils. But I will say, it didn't just say it hasn't been seen in my other games. Hasn't been seen so far in other games.
And we've seen a lot of mechanics in games. You can lower a
So many
goat to a
games.
Tyrannosaurus in a game.
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know if you should, but
I mean, it depends on the game. They have to eat. They have to eat, Saige. Grow up.
it's a video game.
What are they gonna eat? Giant dinosaur pills? Grow up.
Okay. Yes, in a video game, actually, that would be perfectly fine.
Grow- Hey, everyone, grow up. Spider-Man can only lift a car.
So Toyama also said about the location, said those who are familiar will have probably guessed from the trailer that the city is inspired by the 1980s and 90s Hong Kong.
You know how much I love that shit.
However, it is not the real Hong Kong. The game will explore an original setting that blends the nostalgic sights of that city with pure perfection.
I'm so obsessed with with Hong Kong superstructures and Kowloon walled city
Yep.
and all that stuff. When we hung out for like one of the first times we hung out, do you remember I just showed you a big book of photos of Kowloon walled city?
Yes, I do.
Man,
We're
Kowloon walled
still friends
city.
to this day. This game will have you battling mysterious creatures that can mimic humans, as we saw in the trailer. But how can you smoke them out to make them reveal themselves? I also think is really interesting that there is such an element of it's not just like slay the monster. It's like, how are you going to do it? How are you going to get this monster to reveal itself?
Right.
Because you're not going to be able to kill it probably in human form.
Well, that's what's interesting, right? Is you see in the trailer, you see so many of the people turn into monsters, but then at the end, you see that old woman turn back, which I love.
Same.
In a very like Parasite way, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh no, we can turn into monsters, we can feed, and then we can just turn right back. And I'm ooh.
And finally, the statement I found most compelling personally was about the kind of horror it was going to be. He said, the game will explore life and death and the process of decay through everyday life. So, inevitably, some of the developments and visuals will be quite shocking. That said, we're not only focusing on the gore itself, we intend to portray horror in a way that deepens the sense of immersion for the player. Although it is a horror game, we aim to make a game that is entertaining on a wide range of levels with a story filled with mystery and new types of action gameplay.
Love it.
I'm so into that.
Love
I'm
it.
so into that. Come on. The game is about life, death, and the process of decay.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. But also not overly gory. They weren't just like, how gross can we make it?
A metaphor in my video games?
Thank you.
It's more likely than you think.
Oh, thank you, Toyama. I'm very excited. We don't have any kind of date or anything, but
Before the VGAs, we had like a name of a studio and 2 sketches.
yeah.
So like we're gonna have to manage our expectations, but this game's on the way. You know what is super close though?
Oh?
Extremely close.
What's extremely close?
That Horizon Forbidden West.
You're so right. Yes, it is.
Now we got a new trailer for the VGAs, but then we got that new.
Mm-hmm.
We get this new trailer that's showing us some of the new machine life of the Forbidden West. These environments, I'm losing it, man. Between like the new Unreal 5 demos and some of the stuff that these first-party studios have been showing off, I'm losing my mind with how nice video games look.
Yeah.
Have you seen video games, Saige?
Hard to tell.
Holy
Hard to
shit.
tell what's video games.
A digital Keanu Reeves told me that. Did you plug in your PlayStation to check that out yet?
No, I haven't.
You got to do that.
Yeah? Can you do it? Is it that good?
I watched a little bit of it.
You told me to plug in my PlayStation.
I mean, I tell you to plug in your PlayStation all the time.
Yeah, fair.
Look
It
at
felt
these.
like you meant it.
Look at them like drawing armor towards them.
Yeah.
I love this. It's funny because you can tell that the Horizon team got real into Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I definitely.
You know what I
see that.
mean? They got real into Monster Hunter.
And I'm not mad at it.
No, not at all.
I think that was a really cool thing for them to get really into.
I think, you can see, how long these games take. This game was developed in parallel with Breath of the Wild. So seeing this game come out now and it's like, oh yeah, Monster Hunter got really big. We really want an open world that feels like you can literally go anywhere, and we want you to be able to go anywhere. And the fact that they're like dialing all that stuff into what already had incredibly tight action loops.
Yeah.
The takeover mechanic was very fun, even though I thought there might have been depth to it, but it was just kind of like takeover happened now.
Mm-hmm.
It was still cool.
Yeah.
And then just a world and a story and characters that are very fascinating.
I think that, this is going to be one of the most beautiful games ever made up to this point.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very, very excited. I'm not somebody who generally has a lot of passion for video game graphics.
Yeah.
Graphics are just not the thing I'm in it for. I
Me
can
neither.
really kind of take it or leave it for
Yeah.
the most part.
I don't even look at video games most of the time because I think graphics get overhyped.
Yeah.
I just close my eyes and I listen.
Yeah. That's it. Feel the video game in your heart.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes I don't even listen.
Yeah. It's all feelings. Sometimes he's not playing video games. Sometimes he's just doing other things.
Sometimes I don't listen or pay attention because I'm playing an Assassin's Creed. And then I just tape down X, and then I tape up the analog, and I go make a sandwich or a 3-course meal, and I come back and I've collected 87 things.
Yeah, of course.
And unlocked 4 towers.
But I do feel like this game is hitting me a little bit different on that front because it doesn't just look like, wow, that's a good video game. It feels like a feat in technology. It feels like a turning point for the games industry, and it's art direction. Like, it's just so immersive and compelling, and I'm not playing it.
Yeah, anything that is a new or original art style or something that pushes the technology forward is something that I always is always, I think, breathtaking. But like, it's really nice when the game is also good too, because we see a lot of things like when new generations come out and
where
like
they kind of chose between the two, and they were like, well, this is the one where we show off the tech.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna make this so pretty that you want to buy it, and then like 8 months later, everybody's like, what? Like, what's that one? Oh, Godfall.
Oh, yeah.
They're giving Godfall away now.
Yeah.
Do you remember Godfall came out at the launch of the PS5, and like everybody was like, yeah, okay, man. What was the name of that? Infinity Blade on the iPhone where it looked cool and you just swiped.
Yeah.
I looked at Godfall and I was like, okay. All right.
I see
Where's
what you're doing.
Where's the game of this game?
Speaking of incredible feats in graphical technology and visuals, let's talk about Minecraft.
RTX on, baby.
RTX on. That's how you show off that fancy new graphics card. What are you going to do on your 3090? Play
Minecraft.
I say this as a big Minecraft fan, but something really interesting happened. BTS performed in Minecraft, which is very interesting. I feel like if you had just swapped that word out for Fortnite, I would have been like, yeah,
of course they did.
Of course they did. But the fact that they performed in Minecraft is very interesting to me. They have previously performed in Fortnite, by the way.
I like that everybody is sort of taken this page from Fortnite and have been like, well, what can we do that is entertainment and interesting and new? And
look at them. Yeah. Like, why not?
Why not?
Why not this? Right? So this was to end YouTube's interactive Escape 2021 global live stream that's been taking place. It's so odd to watch.
Yeah.
The last game I can think of when they're like, I want to see digital people dancing, the last one I would think of is Minecraft.
Yeah, because I'm watching this and I'm like, this. I mean, it's cool. It's cool that they got BTS to do this. It's fun, but one of the reasons why this works so well in Fortnite is Fortnite really will push the visuals and the interactivity when they do these concert events. Minecraft just sort of do be Minecraft.
Yeah, it's just Minecraft.
It's fun that they got BTS to do it, but I'm not getting tons out of this.
My question for the BBs is, what game is next? Because obviously this is something that people are going to want to try and get in on. It's been so successful for Fortnite. This was very successful for Minecraft. So what is...
Slitterhead.
Like, where is the line, right? Where are people going to be performing?
Probably Slitterhead.
It's probably Slitterhead.
Probably Slitterhead.
Like, you know, do you see them? Marbles, perfect. Yes, absolutely. Valheim. The Sims I could actually see.
I could see that.
Especially because The Sims has done so much stuff with celebrities. They've done, like, they did a collab with Katy Perry.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, had her sing a bunch of things.
You know,
Sheeran
Nintendo
performed in Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I was going to say, Nintendo was close. Nintendo was close because they did that Pokemon 25.
Yeah.
And they had, like, all these big artists. And I was like, where is... All you got to do is put out, like, a Katy Perry skin in Let's Go.
Yeah.
You know, or Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done a little bit more with that, but it's kind of interesting. Somebody's saying Fallout. I love that. Among Us, sure.
Final Fantasy 14. I know you said 15, but Final Fantasy 14 concerts would be so fucking dope.
They would be very dope.
That would be so goddamn cool.
And just like real concerts, I would not be able to get in. I'm not cool enough. I didn't know about it.
Ooh, excellent segue. Hey, Anthony.
Hey, Saige.
How many times have me and your other friends been like, you should get Final Fantasy 14. You should just try it with
Literally
us at least.
daily. Literally
just-
twice a day.
You
I
should
get
just
somebody
get it,
who's
and you
like,
should just try it with.
so often.
You should just try it with.
Which is
us.
probably why I haven't done it, in all honesty. My ADHD brain says, I'll tell you what I like. You don't tell me what I like.
But people,
That's not what I was doing right
but
now.
people that know you well and care about you and want you to have fun are saying it.
Oh, isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy? And yet I did not do it.
Mhm.
And now the
You can't-
sales have been suspended.
Look, obviously this will be temporary. I think they've done this before, haven't they? Yeah,
They
they've done
have.
this before.
They have, but this is the first time they have. They've actually pulled all advertising as well. Look, here's the deal. Endwalker was very popular.
Which, congratulations.
I mean, Final Fantasy XIV, last year was the year of Final Fantasy XIV,
Mhm.
and it continued into this year. Endwalker came out, and it's blown people's minds.
Yeah.
And the server queues were so bad that they had to give people free time in the game. They had to
Mhm.
reimburse them.
Yeah.
It's just too many people. It's just too much fantasy. The power level of the servers is only 4.
Yeah.
So what can they do? So
they can't lift all those cars, everybody.
they said, because players are currently experiencing extremely long wait times due to the dense concentration of play hours, which far exceed our server capacity, especially during peak times, we have decided to temporarily suspend the sale and delivery of Final Fantasy XIV Starter and Complete Edition. Although those with an active subscription are prioritized to log in, free trial players are unable to log in outside of late night and early morning hours.
And I know that is like so frustrating, and it like feels like,
Do you want me to like this game? This is my free trial. Do you want me to like it? Can I play when my friends are playing?
but on the other hand too, if somebody's like, I paid for this game, and people that haven't are getting in before me because like this is my game and this is what I do, and I
Yeah.
paid for my subscription and I paid for the base game.
It's-
Like, I get it.
It's totally understandable.
It's a rock and a hard place where I'm like, yeah,
But now
I
is
want the people who paid for their game to get into the game.
yeah. I mean, now is just not the time to
Don't
be
do
in the
it.
middle
Yeah,
of a free
don't
trial.
do a free trial right now.
I mean, I'm sorry if you did.
Yeah.
They also have temporarily suspended new registrations for the free trial. So even if you have the game
Yeah.
already, you bought it before they took it down, you cannot redeem your free trial right now.
Right.
You would have to immediately start paying for a subscription
Mhm.
or wait until this issue has sort of blown over.
Yeah, everybody's like, more servers, expand servers. Absolutely, but that's not an instant, solution.
Look, this is actually, there's something you can do with games that you can't do when like a road needs to be widened, right? Like you watch them start construction on a 6-lane highway. You're on a 6-lane highway. They're like, we're going to make it an 8-lane highway because we know the traffic's really bad. It takes them 5 years of construction to do it.
Yeah.
By the time they get it done, the population has risen so drastically
Mhm.
in the city that they already have to widen the road again.
Yep.
Right? They're just keeping up with traffic. And I think Square is trying to get to a point where they can actually get ahead of that.
Yeah.
By limiting that sort of the sort of traffic and the onboarding and making sure that they have it under control.
Right. Chip shortage right now would make that very, very difficult.
So it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, this is the sort of thing where like you want to keep an eye on this to make sure it's not something that happens again and again over the next couple of years.
Yeah, agreed.
You want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Right.
But I think for right now,
But it does make sense with the shortages right now.
and more
the
people,
supply chain issues are just really fucking it. That it's like developing more servers would be very difficult right now.
servers are expensive. The rental of server time right now is expensive, and I'm sure they want to have their own servers that they own and run. But also, just people are still home.
Mhm.
So many people are still home.
Yeah.
So like the demand is probably very unprecedented. And like, yeah, Lee Green Griffin is even saying like in the live studio audience, even the Amazon Web Services farms keep going down. And hey, good.
Someone said, while the game's unavailable, you can still watch a retired dad playing Final Fantasy XIV. What's that, G4? Anyways, what else we got? Let's see. Oh, this was really interesting to me. This had totally slid under my radar. This is the first thing I've seen of it. Paralives.
Okay.
Paralives is designed to be, you know, some kind of competitor to The Sims, essentially. And they went in and they were like, hey, you think Sims gives you character customization? What? Did you have to download a bunch of mods to make it look how you wanted it to
Yeah, I was going to
look?
say, yeah, I mean, I guess they do. They kind of do.
Look, the Sims 4 does have, like, very expansive character customization.
Okay.
But it could be better by every means. I never end up perfectly stoked with it. And with the mods that you can get, absolutely. But with this one, you can freehand tattoo placement. You can add body hair. They humanized their characters so much more than The Sims. Like, in The Sims, you can make it look very much like a sim version of you.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. In very much their style. This, you can kind of just make you, which is really, really cool.
Now, this is the game that we had seen before that was showing off, like, a very intense building and placement system, right? Like they like you're placing things on angles and you can like things don't have to necessarily be exactly on the grid. This was that same game, right? And we saw like
I believe
really beautiful
so.
Pinteresty environments, which I can sort of see them doing here.
Yeah, right? I'm trying to get a little bit on the closer up of body design and you being able to look at how many detail options there are here on the right side of the screen.
I love it. That's great.
That's so fucking cool. I really, really like this. I love an in-depth character creator, especially for a game I'm going to play alone. Ugh, I love it. Yeah, your sim is good, but it could be better. Exactly.
Yeah.
It could be better.
This is great. I love this. Good on them for making something that's so expansive.
Here into these facial details. Look at this. There's so much freehanding and just like push and pull to actually like sculpt this person that I'm like, this is a game for me.
Yeah, I love that.
This is a whole game in my eyes of just this part of it.
Yeah, I mean, for some people, this is like the biggest part of
This
the
is
game.
the ride. Yeah.
Like I'll spend like half a day
Mm-hmm.
when I start a new RPG or like a new Souls game.
Yeah.
I'll spend like half a day. I'll be like, what is this? Who am I?
Uh-huh.
Let's find out who I am.
I think this is so fucking cool. Look at that. You can have the different colors in each eye. Look at the weird way the face is laid out.
I wish I had heterochromia.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Look at this.
I mean,
Their
they're
face is
literally.
a beauty spot, and they're
Yeah.
just dragging it around.
That's
on that
literally the UV unwrap for the texture.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in the like tools editor that the developers have.
I think
love
that's so fucking cool.
It's amazing.
I am very, very excited about this. We do not have a release date, unfortunately.
Okay.
We kind of have nothing for it. They were just like, hey, here's a thing we made. Here's a thing that's going to be a game.
They've been releasing info very, very piece by piece.
Yeah.
You can tell they're taking their time, and good on them. Take your time.
But nothing, even like a lot of the time they'll be like, you know, Q2 2022. And we don't even have that right now.
I mean, all of this new information is getting released like through press releases to actual press, but mostly on Patreon, which tells you, where this developer is and how slowly they're taking things,
Yeah.
The Ooblets team was like that too, where they're like, we're just doing what we're doing and
Yeah.
it'll be done when it's done.
We're just doing our thing.
Which is a huge response to things that, the crunch and all the conditions of the industry, which, by the way, is why I want to congratulate my friends at Vodeo for creating the first North American video game union.
Congratulations. My goodness. In this house, we love unions.
We love unions. We love Beast Blasters. We love Vodeo. We love all these cutie games. Listen. Or Beast Breaker. Listen. Vodeo Games. They're the first certified union video game studio in North America.
I think that that's so lovely.
Founder, of course, is Asher Vollmer, who created Threes and a bunch of other wonderful games, and is just a good bean. I like Asher a lot, and Asher says that you know, they mostly make like small, intimate games that you can curl up and lose yourself in. He likes to make smaller games with complexity, but he likes to make sure that if you're making games that make people feel taken care of, the people who make the games feel taken care of, because otherwise it doesn't work.
Correct.
He says the company's entirely remote. They've got a staff of 13 employees and contract workers. The union is called Vodeo Workers United, and it represents everybody, including contract employees.
Wow.
Not just full-time.
Wow. Good for them.
This is a very cool and good thing, and I want to see more and more and more of this. You know, it's easier. I will say this: it's easier to change things at a smaller company, especially when the people want to see that change.
Absolutely. The people at the top that, you know, have built already a good work environment.
Yeah, but it's been really lovely to sort of see these things happening. You know, earlier this year, our friends of the show over at Young Horses instituted the 4-day work week for everyone, and enforces it. People just, you gotta fucking take care of your people.
You gotta take care of your people.
They're gonna lock in benefits. They're going to begin contract negotiations.
And also implementing the 4-day work week.
Yeah, but they did say, like, we already have benefits and they're very good.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's interesting is, like, of course the people that say of course we'll give you a union are the people that already understand what you need.
Exactly, and don't have anything that they've actively been trying to keep you from benefits wise.
And are like, well, as we, like, hopefully we grow bigger, and as we grow bigger and things become more disconnected, and I'm, you know, instead of just being on a Zoom with everybody that works for me, I'm now working with 30 people, 40 people.
Right.
As that gets bigger, I want to make sure that I don't lose touch with the things that make this a good place to work, you know? So, hey, buy Threes if you haven't. Buy Beastbreaker if you haven't. You're going to like Beastbreaker. Support these teams that make very good things and treat their people well.
We love to see it. Oh, I put this in the wrong category, but I do want to talk about it. We're gonna go back up for a minute.
That's okay.
Y'all might have seen earlier in the month there was some screenshots going around. There was a glitch in Animal Crossing that caused your villagers to walk around naked.
A glitch or a form of self-expression?
A glitch or a feature? Excellent question. So, you were seeing things like this where they would just show up sometimes. You'd be out shopping and they would just waltz on in naked, which, like,
they're just animals if they're naked.
Exactly. That's
We've taken away the two things that make them sentient.
Right.
Their ability to accessorize and their shame. They can't walk in the human world unless they have shame.
Right. I mean, most of them were walking around Donald Duck in it anyways. So, like, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it is pretty funny.
They need the oppressive yoke of human embarrassment about their own bodies if they're going to interact with us.
They did say that it was primarily happening at the Roost, which is interesting. So they were just, I mean, if you have like a specific area that it's happening, it does feel like it's like that kind of party, doesn't it?
It feels like either like
the Roost is like the nude beach of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, like Brewster's just like, hey, you know, everybody knows that one bar in town where, like, if you stay after last call, they'll just lock you in while they close and you can, like, hang out and, like, have some more drinks. Like, Brewster's just kind of like, hey, man, just come in. We're in the back of the museum. Nobody's going to see. It's a real chill environment. Do what you want. But, of course, Nintendo won't allow these villagers to do what they want.
No, of course not. So Nintendo has restored their clothing, which is fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Cowards.
I will say they did bring up in this article, like, well, nobody has an issue when KK does it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess it's just like a lot of double standards for your villagers versus their, you know.
Yeah, but like,
touring musician.
If Mickey Mouse showed up without gloves, would you feel like Mickey Mouse was doing violence to you?
Do you think he's got freaky little hands under there?
In the new animated shorts, the ones I really love, the
Uh-huh.
ones that have been coming out since like 2016, he does say that he canonically wears no-show socks under his shoes.
Okay.
I don't know about the size of his feet or his hands,
I don't know what that means.
but I found it
What?
very interesting to have Mickey Mouse to let everybody know that he does wear socks.
Okay. I'm picturing weird little rat hands now. Grabby little rat hands.
Grabby little rat hands.
Grabby little rat.
Grabby little rat hands.
It's very weird to picture.
It's a very weird thing to picture. We only got a couple minutes left, so
You're
I
so
want to
right.
cover some good stuff
Okay.
here. First of all, a Goonies TV show is coming.
Interesting.
A Goonies TV show is coming. I'm going to say that for a third time. A television series based on the Goonies.
This actually makes perfect sense to me.
It makes amazing sense. Here's the thing. Like, they've been trying to work on a Goonies 2 forever. Originally, back when they were all like in their 30s, like young 30s, there was a Goonies 2 about everybody coming back to Astoria for Mikey's wedding, and they find out that there was actually like a second part of the treasure,
Yeah.
and they're all adults and they've got to like rediscover the magic and
The
adventure.
non-horror
and-
It.
Yeah, it's just so lovely. It's so lovely. There was a Goonies drama a few years ago that was going to be on Fox that was about a teacher, like a teacher who helps her students recreate shot for shot the Goonies. And as they're doing it, like things in their lives mirror things that are happening in the reenactment. It was a very interesting, like
That's an odd take.
it's very
I'm
fascinating.
not surprised that didn't make it all the way through.
It's very, it was a very like high project one, but like, or high concept one, but like, this is crazy. It's gonna be, like they talked about doing it at Netflix. Like it was almost everywhere.
But it has landed at Disney Plus.
Or Warner Brothers, at Disney Plus, which
Yeah.
is like crazy because like it's a Warner Brothers TV project.
Yeah, which would typically go to HBO.
And like, I can't believe, like maybe Warner Brothers was just like, we don't have the money to prioritize this ourselves.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the vibe of Disney Plus.
Is way better than HBO Max for this. Because here's the thing, too. And, like, I guess I don't know exactly what age this is going to be for. I'm not sure who it'll be aimed at.
Yeah.
Whether it is nostalgic fans of the Goonies, obviously, primarily, there'll be a range of it. But whether it is for nostalgic fans or for the next generation of kids to grow up on the Goonies, I would personally actually really like to see it be for the kids.
Yeah,
I would
think.
like to see it be good enough that we can sit down and watch it, but know that it was made for the kids. You know
Well,
what I mean?
you think about these things that are like reboots that have like come back. You know, the like the Boy Meets Worlds or whatever of this sort of like new streaming landscape, and like Girl Meets World was there specifically so your parents recognize the name of the show
Yeah.
and two of the characters and start watching the show with you, but it's for you because you're a kid.
Exactly.
The name of the show is Our Time.
Okay.
You know, it's our time. It's our time down here.
Sure,
I don't know why
yeah.
you wouldn't just call it the fucking Goonies.
Yeah.
It's right there.
It does feel like they're burying the lead a little bit with that.
But I'm fascinated to how this is going to turn out. I'm fascinated. Penn Badgley is still sort of like connected to it, I think.
Interesting. And this is your reminder, everybody, that, hey, if it's bad, that's okay. The thing you like still exists.
Hey, look.
Nothing can take that from
Nothing.
you.
Hey, every day I wake up knowing that Blade Runner 2049 exists. And it's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine. It's cool. It's kind of its own thing. Doesn't ruin Blade Runner. Doesn't ruin Blade Runner.
And
Man, between Goonies and Willow, though.
Yeah.
Between Goonies and Willow, though, Disney Plus is really saying, hey, Anthony Carboni.
Yeah, they are.
How you doing? Have we been doing enough for you? And I'm like, Disney Plus, thank you so much for asking. I would say now,
Maybe.
mostly.
Yeah. And then swinging over to my side of things, of people that are making nostalgic content for me and potentially diving into my childhood. Avatar: The Last Airbender Netflix series has a couple more casting updates, and I am very excited about them. We have our Azula. When the original cast was announced, this is the one that I was most anticipating after those leads. I was like, okay,
Me
but
too.
who's Azula?
I want to know.
Okay, but who's Azula?
Who's our
We got
bad bitch?
initially- Yeah, exactly. We got our initial 4. We got our Ankatara, Zuko. Those are our only ones character-wise. The actor is very lovely.
Here we go. We got 5 new additions.
So we not only got Azula, but appropriately so, right next to her got Suki, and that's Suki. Like, that's Suki.
That's absolutely Suki.
You found Suki.
I immediately, my eyes immediately went to Avatar Kyoshi.
And Avatar motherfucking Kyoshi right next to Gran Gran. I am so excited. I was looking on IMDb, and this is probably just an initial thing, but she's listed in a lot of episodes, and I was like, what's up? Now, this is supposed to be essentially a retelling of the animated series, so I would be surprised that if that's not just like an IMDb thing where everybody just got listed as a series regular.
Yeah, normally that's sort of what happens. But it could also be, you know,
because they don't have the episode lists yet.
It could also be like, who knows, maybe flashbacks, maybe like, who knows how they're going to do.
Right. So, Azula, Suki, Yukari, Avatar Kyoshi, and Gran Gran. I am so excited about this casting.
Yo, I am, man. Yeah, this is good. This whole lineup is good.
It's going to be so interesting seeing someone that young portray Azula. Because like I always pictured Azula as an adult. Very much so, and I know the ages of these characters, but the arc of Azula is so deep and mature, which we see a lot in these like kind of alternate setting fantasy universes that are set in like some version of what we would consider a past, where kids did kind of grow up faster. It's very interesting to see, and it's gonna be interesting to watch like a teen portray that very, very complex storyline that Azula has.
And for some of them, for a couple of them, this is basically like first big credit, right? So like Elizabeth Yu, who is playing Azula, she was in All My Love, and then she has she's in a film with Ray Romano coming up, but those are like her two main credits.
Yeah.
Maria Zhang, who is playing Suki, no listed credits, no listed major credits. So they found her, which I think is wonderful.
And again, that's Suki. That's why.
She just looks like, I mean, even that
flips.
Even that photo.
That's
even
the
that
photo of Suki.
Even that photo with just like the back behind one ear and like the smirk and like,
Yeah.
but it's friendly. It's a friendly smirk.
But
also
she could kick my ass.
But also, she'll have fun doing it.
Right, and she'll be so good at it. So I think that this casting looks absolutely phenomenal. I am so excited about it. I'm intrigued to see, too, like how much they dove into experienced martial artists in various forms. I think that will be very interesting to see.
It's going to be a good show, y'all. I think it's going to be a very good show.
I hope it's going to be very, very good.
You know,
I know that it is. I'm worrying about it getting like bebopped a little bit. Because they've already moved on to focusing on Paramount Plus.
Yeah. Well,
we'll
look,
see.
I think that's my biggest fear. I think when you talk about Netflix adapting animated and anime, I think like they're getting better and better every time. They really are. You go back and you look at like the American Death Note movie versus the kind of stuff they're doing now. I think they're doing like way better.
Yep.
I think they're doing like way better. And I liked Bebop. I wanted to see Bebop do more. I hope they give this room to breathe, and I hope that Paramount Plus deal does not tank this show. But the way they're doing all of their marketing and announcements and stuff, it feels like they don't expect it to, or at least they're hoping it doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Netflix is just pushing Avatar so hard because they want people to think of Avatar being on Netflix before all this Paramount Plus stuff drops.
Yeah.
But I think there's room for a property to exist on two streaming platforms, right? Like we still have Marvel stuff on Hulu. It still works. It's for a
But I
different
always forget
audience.
it's there.
I do forget it's there.
I
But-
will also say, Blade of Creation said, I mean, aging up the character slightly makes sense for a live action show. It's hard to believe 12-year-olds doing what Aang does, but they didn't.
They didn't.
Look
Aang
at the
is
casting
12.
for Aang. That's a baby boy.
Aang is the kid they found to play Aang. I think is younger than 12 because they expect him to age up.
I think he's.
He's like 12.
Yeah. I
Um,
don't think he's younger than 12.
but I think they're ready to take it on. And you can't cast older actors to play kids and teens the way you used to.
Mhm.
People get a little weirded out by it now, or at least it's like, hey,
Yeah.
everybody in this high school is 30. You
Right.
got to stop it.
Yeah.
So, I think they want it to be believable. I'm going to do one more.
Okay.
I'm going to do one more.
That was the news for me. This is the news for Anthony. We're trading back and forth.
I'm going to do one more here. Blue Beetle.
He loves the Blue Beetle.
I've been waiting for the Blue Beetle
Very patiently.
so patiently. I mean, a little impatiently,
Yeah, I mean,
but it's been
sometimes.
so long. We've nearly had the Blue Beetle in so many ways. There's nearly a CW character,
Mhm.
nearly a CW character with its own series. Then it was going to be another series. Then it was going to be an HBO series. Then it was pulled back again. Then it's like, now it's a movie. And then it was like, it's going to be an HBO Max movie. Jaime Reyes will be getting a theatrical release for his film in 2023. The solo Blue Beetle movie is getting a full theatrical release. We don't know if that's simultaneous to HBO Max.
Mhm. That's very interesting.
There he is. There's Jaime. I think this man, yeah. I mean, look, they're gonna decool this kid.
Yeah, of course.
They're gonna decool this guy a little bit, and then if you close your eye and you imagine one eye and you imagine him not cool, that's Jaime. Now what I want to know, Warner Brothers, is do you have a Ted cord yet? Do you have a nerdy, kind of quippy, kind of down on his luck, sort of older guy that used to be the Blue Beetle that could maybe like hang out and like help him fix stuff?
Do you know where they could find one? Is that
Yeah, I know. Hey,
you have some suggestions?
Warner
or-
Brothers, what's up? It's me, Anthony Carboni, the one true Blue Beetle. I have no screen credits to my name and a huge list of demands. Hire me to be Ted Cord. Hire me to be Ted Cord.
There we go. And that is the perfect place to leave you for today because you know what we need to do? We gotta go talk about Spider-Man.
We got to talk about Spider-Man.
We have to go talk about Spider-Man, which we are going to do on the Patreon. We will do 2, as always. You may have seen...
It's still up. It's still up. Way back in 2016, when Trisha Hirschberger and I hosted What's News for Comic-Con HQ, we created this website. It's Anthony Carboni is the one true bluebeetle.com. It still works.
I'm a paragraph. Click here.
They removed my letter, but I had a letter to Greg Berlanti telling him why I should have been the Blue Beetle before they said he couldn't have the Blue Beetle and turned him into the Atom.
Fair.
I can't believe that site's still up. I'm
That's
paying for that
excellent.
domain. I should not do that. But
I can't believe you didn't know you were paying for that domain.
I have so many domains
I
that I'm
know
paying
that
for.
You do. I know.
They're very good.
And you leave paperwork sporadically around your apartment all about them.
I have so many domains.
He does.
If
All
you
right,
go to
y'all.
kickflip.expert, I think it takes you to my website still.
Okay, so as always, if you have seen our Wonder Woman review, if you've seen any of the other like in-depth movie reviews that we've done over on the Patreon, we usually do 2 versions. We do a spoiler-free review, and then we do a spoiler-full review, and it's just going to be a screaming. I don't know how insightful it's going to be about the film, but it's going to be very excitable. We're very excited. So we got to go do that right now before Anthony says something on the stream.
Spider-Man.
Okay, we love you so much, BBs. Let's go through really quick. We got to go through our honor roll. But first, Anthony, where can they find you on the internet when you're not here?
Oh, my stars and garters, you can find me everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. You can also find me every Friday, hey, that's today, on my science comedy podcast with Jeff Kanata. It's called We Have Concerns. I think you'll really enjoy it. You will learn something, and you will fear the universe, and hopefully you will laugh. And then tomorrow, I'll be right back here tomorrow night for Total Puppet Chaos.
That's so true. At 7 p.m. Pacific. Anthony Carboni, starring as Karen.
Karen, the god of petty grievances and misdirected anger. And Saige is there, too, as Craig.
I am. Craig's right back there on the couch.
Craig, there is Craig.
Absolutely fucking knocked out.
7 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m.
Yep.
7 p.night.
Yes. Perfect.
It's a puppet RPG, so D&D, totally improvised.
Not
with
D&D.
Not D&D.
Lasers and
feelings, totally improvised with puppets.
Yes.
Believe.
Do it. And you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream over on my channel Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays. We just hit a goal that I have to buy a bunch of IRL Marbles tracks. I don't know. Shit's weird over there.
Live your life.
You can also find me tomorrow on Total Puppet Chaos, and I hope that you will because it's a pretty good time. It's a pretty good show. I like it very much. You can watch the VOD. Last night we did the holiday special of the Black Dice Society, which was less about Santa and more about various kinds of grieving and loss.
Sounds about right for y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we handle the holidays. Yeah, and Board AF on Smosh Games every Monday and a bunch of other Smosh Game stuff. You can find me over there. But, follow this channel because it's cool and we like it.
Cool.
And everybody works very, very hard on it. And I'm very proud of all the talented people that contribute to make this channel possible. That's it. That's it. Let's go through and let's thank the honor roll of all of the BBs that decided to show up and support us during the show. So many of you have been supporting us for a long time. This is all of our brand new followers, all the people who donated, all the people who subscribed, resubscribed.
Emily Norma Photography, thank you for the follow. Rebecca Fa, thank you for resubscribing for 7 months. Harry Horror with the host just as we're doing the honor roll. Hi, Harry. How are you? Baboon 8, Gabe Lamas Art, thank you for the follow. Chafrikas with the Prime sub, taking a little money out of the Beezy pockets. We love that. Tuber 8 with the follow. Thank you. 54 Aquasnakes with $10 for sugar breakfast. Thank you. Flannel Fries with the resub for 14 months in a row. It's my first day. I'm already a fan.
Hey, we're good.
For 14 months?
Minute. Flannel Fries.
I feel like that.
Hold on. I heard the message and then I looked at the name and I was like,
Snarky Small Talk with the resub for 3 months in a row. He can't even wear a mask for a full flight. Who?
Oh, that was about Spider-Man.
About Spider-Man.
He takes his mask off while fighting a lot.
Oh, for a full fight. Yeah. OG Coconut Longboy, thank you for the follow. Cassidy Weaver with the resub for 13 months. Luckiest month. The most lucky month. Maverick Zero with the follow. Stevie Stryker with the resub for 4 months. 8-year-olds should be exposed to more Agatha Christie. Thank you. Kids don't respect the whodunit.
Tianmar with the 9-month resub. Kaylin Roar gifting a sub to AZ. Kaylin Roar also gifting a sub to Hot Beverages. Thunder Cabbage with the bits. Kaylin Roar gifting a sub to AQ Trans. So appreciated.
Getting Mo Done with the resub for 10 months in a row, saying, what a long time. And you know what? It is, and we appreciate it, and thank you. Hot Beverages with 100 bits. Flying Queso with the host. G-Rex 13 with the resub for 9 months in a row. 10 total. It says. So either you were falling to your death and we were supposed to catch you.
Oh shit.
Or you're just happy. Yeah. Dave Boy with 300 bits. Martinis for 2 at 6 gifted the sub to Ramasak. Hey, you're trapped now. Commander Phantom, thank you for the follow. Kaylin Roar with 2,000 bits saying, about to go see Ghostbusters on your recommendation, Saige.
Have fun. I hope you enjoy it.
Take care, y'all. Chris Plowman with the gift sub to Melmation Mage. Hey, thanks. Emperor Kialich with the host for 1 viewer. Chris Plowman with the resub for 8 months. Sir Ross the Weary with the resub for 12 months. That's 1 month away from a Pixel Circus year.
That's so true. We got a hell of a bunch of follows right there, back to back as well. And we appreciate you so, so very much. Harry sliding in with the bits there at the end said, happy Honda days and a very merry Toyota-thon to you
To you
all.
as well. And hey, happy Witcher Day to all who celebrate.
I'm so excited. Sorry. I'm really good. I'm very excited for The Witcher. Maybe that'll be next week's Patreon clip. I don't know. Catch us on Monday, of course. We'll be back at exactly 8 a.m.
Catch me
Pacific.
outside.
How about that?
We will, of course, as a reminder, be going long on Spider-Man No Way Home for our patrons. Go follow the Patreon. Hey, for what is it? $5 a month?
$5 a month.
You get a bonus you get a bonus clip from us every week.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's a whole other story from It's Too Early.
It's a whole nother story. Sometimes it's a whole ding-dang podcast, and it's about to be one today. So go subscribe if you have not yet to that Patreon.
Grumpy, thank you for those bits coming in at the end. Take care of yourselves. We love you so much. Bye, BB.
Bye, BBs.